This is Lifting with Legends. So tell me the story of how you kind of got into CrossFit Notorious. You know, you transformed this gym because you were saying that there was a gym here before.
Before joining here, I had started grad school. I was gaining some weight, and I thought, hey, let me just join a gym that's open 24 hours, and I'll go hop on the treadmill and do my homework, right? And then I started just trying different things. I started learning about like powerlifting movements, and I started to get really into it. And then I met my partner, who's now my wife, Erica. She actually was a member here along with her family. And she was like, hey, you should come do a workout with us. And I was like, so it was during finals week. I had skipped on a bunch of meals, and then I stuffed myself right before the class.
Yeah.
I was gassed out like during the warm-up. On top of all that stress, right? I know that I'm meeting her family, and that they're probably gonna judge me. Like, who is this very unfit person, you know, dating my daughter type of thing. Through trying all those things, I just started to realize what I didn't like and what I did like, and then that brought me to the sport of weightlifting. Through CrossFit, I did that for a year, and then I started doing just the weightlifting, the sport weightlifting.
What was, you were telling me the story about the Arnold and the possible meet that could have gotten you there.
As a coach here for the weightlifting barbell club, try to promote like going out of your boundaries, you know, letting go of your ego, but also like trying to do something that you've never done before. So I decided to compete, and I didn't tell anybody. Erica was the only person that knew, and you know,
that's intense.
She went with me not only through the process of training, but also like to the event. There I was. I made my lifts, and I was on my last clean and jerk. If I make this lift, I get to go to the Arnold. It was a weight I had never made before. I've attempted it before, but I've never made it. I go make the clean, stand up, feels easy. I go for the jerk. I lock out. Holy, I did it. Yeah. And then my arm goes boop, just a little dip. And so that's called, it's a foul. If you do that, it's a press out. And so because that happened, even though I stood up with the lift, because my elbow bent, it didn't count. Had I not done that, I would have made it to the Arnold, which would have been a cool experience. More of a bucket list, but just to say that I went there.
Just getting there is impressive. That's like one of the most prestigious like competitions like in the US for bodybuilding and weightlifting. What were some of the things that you guys did to stay open?
This was a pretty nerve-wracking experience. We have the best members. And it's not, I mean, it sounds cliche, but realistically, we didn't know when we were gonna open. They didn't know when we were gonna open. They're getting charged monthly. So we knew right away we have to support them in some way, because we're gonna reopen at some point, and we don't want people just to start from zero. Our coaching team was really on it. So we were able to stay open as long as possible. Our class sizes dropped drastically just to keep the limit, a safe limit. And then when we were told we couldn't stay open, they actually launched a whole online Zoom classes. So coaches from either here or their house would host a class through Zoom, and members would join in the class. Where the only equipment they needed was their body and maybe a book bag if they wanted something challenging. We also rented out equipment, so people had access to plates, dumbbells, and so a lot of the workouts that the coaches provided was as if you were still here. So it still had that competitive component. You still had the leaderboard to see, you know, who's in front of you, who you're gonna beat for that day. But really, just creating this from nothing for our current members. We even gave them nutrition guides. We really tried to give them everything we could.
Definitely something that I feel like the members and like people like who don't know about your facility like can respect for sure.
So right now we're doing outdoor classes because we can only have indoor if it's one-on-one.
Right.
When the guidelines loosen up a little, we'll have indoor classes. And so we're following all the guidelines there. Each member will have like their own little space to work out at.
Well, for today, what do you want to lift?
I was thinking we'd probably do some front squats. I figured since you're here, you do something a little out of your wheelhouse, but not too crazy.
I'm in for it.